Welcome back to Mom Talk. On this episode, Victoria and I are going to discuss something that came up because she's been with Mason
A lot.
24/7.
Yeah.
So it was his last day at Red Barn, but before kindergarten. So you've had him every day. You had to take off, obviously.
Yeah. So his last day was August 2nd. And then the half day of school was the 7th?
Mm-hmm. And that was really just an
That's
hour.
an hour. And you stay with them for that hour. The flex day, the 12th. And then his first full day, the 16th. So really from August 2nd to the 16th, all but one day with him.
Nonstop.
Nonstop, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and night.
Yeah. I mean, that is a long time.
And I love spending time with my kids. I mean, we've talked about that extensively on here, that we're obsessed with them.
Yeah.
However, that is a lot, too much of a good thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I feel like I completely understand that any mom needs a break, but especially that was like a lot of time together.
It was. And I'm texting you, and I feel like this is something we haven't really talked about, but like the guilt I feel when I complain about my kids in any capacity to you, which like you're my person, so who else am I going to talk to?
Right. And I want to know.
But like the guilt on my end, because I'm literally texting you on like the day before or on Henry's birthday, and you don't have him this year on his birthday. And I'm like, Mason's driving me crazy. I need a break from him. Like we are on each other's nerves.
I did not even
And
think
I'm
about
like,
it.
I am just the literal worst.
No.
Because she would do anything to be with her kid on his birthday, and my kid's on my last nerve.
I mean, I would do anything to be with my kids, especially on their birthdays, but I did not think twice about it when you said that. Not at all, did not even cross my mind.
Well, it definitely crossed mine. I was like, I shouldn't even send this text. I'm going to, but I shouldn't.
No, okay, so my kids were 2 and 5 when we moved out of the house, but I mean, I can still vividly remember those ages, and I would have Emma down for a nap. She was like at her 1-a-day nap, but Henry was still like at a 2-a-day nap, so they never aligned. Mm-hmm. And I can vividly remember on Sunday afternoons, she would be down, but I'm like, Michael, please do something with Henry. Like, walk over to your mom's, or I want to sit here and fold the laundry in silence. Like,
Yeah. What a vacation.
no, a vacation to fold this laundry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I absolutely remember that. But I mean, you're not the first person that has said this to me, just maybe not that deep. But, like, I think about it and I'm like, would I still need a break now? Like, after obviously they're gone 50% of the time. Like, what if I got them back right now full time? Would I still want a break? When would I feel like I needed a break? Because I do have all this downtime when I'm not with them. Like,
You've got all the time to fold the laundry.
all the time to fold the laundry, go grocery shop, whatever. Like, literally just...
And then you don't have to take your kids with you to do like the day-to-day chores that need to be done. It's just done, and you can spend your time with them when you're with them.
Yes.
Because that's another thing I feel bad about. I'm like, man, I have to take these kids with me to the grocery store, with me to do this. Like, I'm not with them when I'm with them. I mean, they're with me physically.
But you're still having to get your normal tasks accomplished. Yeah. I mean, this is just mom guilt for me. Like, everybody has to feel this, right? Like, we're just guilty about one thing or another.
Yeah, I feel like on both sides of it, we're guilty about something.
Yeah. Because especially now that I don't have mine all the time, if there's something I need to get done and they're with me, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely not
I
doing
get
that.
put on the back burner.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I never feel any type of way when any mom says like that they need a break from their kid, because they're with them all the time and you need some downtime. Take a bath time, decompress time.
Yeah.
So I really don't think, I personally don't think anything about it when people say that.
See, you and I are very different, because I feel like if the roles were reversed, I would be like, really? Like, you're going to complain to me of all people? Like, that's just how I would feel. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe at first.
I do want them all the time. I mean, I could say that over and over and over, but it doesn't make me feel any type of way when somebody needs a break from their kid. Now, I wish I didn't have like these set days and breaks that I have to have. That's so crazy. I know we've definitely talked about that before, but
Yeah, like you said, a break can be like bath or like going out to dinner with friends, not like 50% of the time.
right. So, I mean, I'm fine with it. You can definitely vent to me.
Well, I'm not going to stop, but I do feel the guilt.
Now, some stuff that is probably weird and bothers me that may not even other people would think of is like, so a couple times people have run into me when I don't have my kids. And these are like the grandparents' friends. Like, you know, they totally mean well and no harm. And they're like, oh, I saw your kids, or I just left your kids, or they were at the blah. And I'm like, I know immediately my face turns away because I'm shocked that this person knows where my kids are or has seen my kids, and I have no idea what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. Because, like, even if Jarrett took your kids somewhere, you would obviously know. Y'all live together. You probably planned it out. But if Michael takes my kids to, say, a football game, I don't have to know about that.
Yeah.
But when somebody says, I saw them there, they're this, they're that, they're so cute, and I'm like, why is this crushing me right now that I didn't know?
Right. Like, not strangers, but these acquaintances know more about my kids' activities right now than I do as their mom.
It's really, really weird.
Yeah, I'm sure that is.
What I do love in that situation is if, like, it's a mom that I'm friends with, text me a picture of them. And, like, because I feel like they're speaking to my soul. Like, they know how much I love my kids and, like, am literally crazy wanting to know where they are. So I'm like, oh, yeah, you included me.
Yeah.
I feel so thankful in that. Mm-hmm. Like, if Emma has a party and it's on Michael's time and they know that, but they still send me a pic, like, I feel good about that. Which they could probably be sending everybody a picture of their kids. Which is
fine. But it's just extra nice to you. Yeah, like, you appreciate it that much more. I really
appreciate it. And then I find myself making sure
to do the same.
I do that. Yeah. Because I know I love it. Okay. And then with birthday parties, you know, my kids are older, so they do get invited to stuff.
Like sleepover birthday parties?
Sleepovers, like anything planning in advance. Like, I want the mom to text me. Mm-hmm. But obviously, Michael and Nicole are capable of planning it on their time. It's just, I want to know where my kids are or are going to be, especially if it's a sleepover overnight.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily the person that's inviting me's job to let me know, or inviting Emma to let me know. Because if, you know, Michael says yes, then that's obviously fine. But he wouldn't necessarily think to tell me, and not in a mean or rude way or like, oh, I don't have to tell you, it's my time. I just don't think when roles are reversed, if it's on my time, I don't think that's something like he's super concerned about.
Yeah, he's not going to care if you tell him or not.
Yeah, he's like, oh, cool. But like me, I'm just sitting at home like, what are they doing tonight? And then if she's at a sleepover or Henry's I would just want to know who they're with.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm still like that all the time.
I mean, I don't think that's abnormal for any mom in any situation to want to know where their kid is. But I see what you're saying, too. Like, it's not done in a disrespectful way.
No.
On anyone's part. Like, Michael's, Emma's.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really on her to tell you either.
No. Because I don't think she would ever mean to not, but she also wouldn't think of it.
Right.
And basically, pretty much now, all of our mom friends know that obviously we share custody. So basically we both get the text. And it's just like whoever she's with, one of y'all respond.
Yeah.
Which definitely I would probably do that too. Because you can't keep up with everybody's schedules. They're crazy. Mm-hmm. But then we both get to know like what Emma's doing or what she's been invited to at least. Yeah, so basically this is an episode of everything that Victoria asks me about being a single mom versus her being a married mom.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. Like, do you ever think it's weird when I'm like complaining about my husband to you?
Oh, no.
I'm like, is that weird?
I don't know if anybody else has ever said that to me either, but no, I don't think that's weird. Like, okay, when I first got divorced, of course, I'm still like hurt. And I'm like, I wish I had a husband to fight with, you know, something like that.
That's what I mean. Like,
but
I feel like I would just naturally feel that way.
No, because also you remember being married, you're going to fight. Like, it happens. So I'm way past that. That was just probably a year after when I was just like processing everything. But no, I don't think a thing about it. Like, you're married, y'all are going to have whatever.
And I do feel like, I mean, this is probably just you as a person, not divorced Jordan versus any other version of you. But I feel like you do have really good advice when it comes to the marital problems and fights and stuff.
Well, that is so nice of you to say since mine didn't work out.
No, but I feel like you do have the good advice because we are alike and I'm not trying to go out and do the things. And you're like, no, you have to go out and do the things.
Okay, yeah. So Victoria felt bad for complaining about her kids.
Yes.
But you needed to go out for your anniversary.
I did.
And I didn't say it specifically this time, but yes, I have said to you before, like, we are both such homebodies, like, but Jared is not.
Jarrett is so social and I go out and I feel like my battery gets drained socializing.
I feel the same way.
It doesn't mean I don't ever want to do it. It's just draining. He gets, and I quote, recharged socializing. So like going out and mingling, like that is where he is just thriving.
And you and I are like stressing about it 3 days in advance.
100%.
What to wear, how are we going to talk to these people? Do we know them? So no, I 100% get it, but maybe it's hindsight, lived experience, but yeah, you do need to.
You do tell me and remind me of that.
Yeah, so she went out, y'all.
I did. I went to the casino.
That's y'all's spot.
No, it is. I like the casino.
So he likes it equally.
Yeah, I think he wants to go to one like further away that has tables.
Okay.
We've just been doing Oak Grove lately.
You know, I don't know what that means. They only have like slot machines or what?
Yeah, they just do slots there, but he wants to go do like some roulette or like blackjack or table games.
Okay. Have y'all ever stayed the night there?
At Oak Grove?
Uh-huh. Like, I know they offered you an overnight, but...
Yeah, no, I've never spent the night. I did use my free room once. My mom and my aunt stayed, and they like slept a few hours and woke up and gambled more the next morning. Also, have you been to a casino?
No.
Ever?
I mean, I've been to Vegas, so
Okay.
I've walked through them.
So you lose all concept of time.
I do hear that.
So the other night when I was there and we were getting ready to leave, you could have told me it was like 9. It was 11.
You're just...
I was like, wow, I haven't had dinner.
You weren't even hungry.
What
What do
did
they
you-
pump into these rooms?
Wasn't even hungry. They do have free like sodas and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I got up twice to like use the bathroom and get a drink, but that was it.
I'm just like picturing on Friends, like this little old lady is like playing the penny slots like right after Phoebe. Like that's what I'm picturing with you there. Just
Oh, yeah.
some smoky room.
Okay, so it's one big room and it's divided smoking, non-smoking. So like obviously you can smell the smoke. Like back in the day.
I was
when-
gonna say that's so old school.
Yeah, like back in the day when you could like have a smoking or non-smoking table at a restaurant,
Yeah, I remember.
but the whole building still
smelled like smoke. Yep.
Same thing there. I mean, I think they try to like pump something in the air to kind of
That's so funny.
help that, but
Emma and I were watching Stranger Things. You know, this is kind of risky for her age. But anyways, they were smoking in the restaurant. She was like, how can they even do that?
How?
I was like, girl, back in the day. And then you could
Yeah.
pick non-smoking and you usually had to wait longer. So sometimes I would give in and hit the smoking side.
right.
Get my food faster.
Feed me.
Okay, well, you're going to have to take me to the casino.
We need to go. It's a good time. And
And that's the
definitely-
only place you like to go.
I mean, it's not the only place, but yeah, it's an
Yeah.
easy one for me.
Yeah,
Because also I can decide when I'm done.
right.
I feel like a movie. You go to a movie, you're there for the whole movie. You go to dinner, you're there until you get your food. You know, I feel like a lot of activities, you're there until your time's up or it's done or whatever. At the casino, like,
You just
come and
determine.
go as you please.
Are they open all night?
Yeah,
Okay, that would make
So-
sense. Yeah. Okay, but you left your kids with your mom, right?
I did. They spent the night with mom and dad and got to do whatever they wanted, I'm sure.
Okay, on that topic, I will say I feel like obviously me and mom live together, so my kids are not going to stay with her. But they stay with Melissa every so often, and I don't think I think they want to, but I think if Michael and I were still in the same house, they would go to her more often or they would do things with my mom separately.
Right.
But since they are, when they're with me, Like, I feel like they're trying to take in that time too. They're really not going anywhere with like just my mom.
Yeah.
Or just Melissa. Like, then they want to be with Michael. So I do feel like that looks different than I thought because they don't want to miss any time with us either.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think, has there ever been a time where your kids have opted out of a birthday party or going somewhere because they wanted to spend time with you?
No, not yet, which I will say, and I say that Henry's so social, but like there's not a million parties that he's doing, especially not any sleepovers. So he'll hit the parties and come back home.
Give me my bed.
Yes. And as social as he is a homebody.
Yeah.
And then Emma always surprises me at how much, how fine she is going and staying somewhere else. But I also credit that to the divorce. I mean, she had to go back and forth for a while. It has never bothered her to stay anywhere.
Okay.
When I was little, I would always think I want to go to Courtney's and spend the night, and then I would call my mom crying at about midnight to come get me.
Yeah, I did that a few times myself.
Yeah, but Emma has never had an issue.
And you think it's from the divorce?
That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, she may have been fine, but like, I feel like even before the divorce, like she was so attached to me, which she and Henry are so different. Like, you know, she doesn't like to hug and touch and thing like that. So like just me being in the same house is good enough for her. So I think she's just more okay with being gone one night. Like she will mention like, oh, I'm not going to get to see you as much, or when will I get to see you again? But she has not said no to doing it over me.
Okay.
And I did not get to have Henry on his birthday this year.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if you wanted to talk about that a lot.
We can talk about it. You know, I already lived through
last year too, because it was leap year, so all the same holidays and stuff.
You know, if I could rule the world, but I can't.
Okay, not even just y'all's situation. I just think in general, a mom should get their kid on their birthday.
And I think that too. And then I'm like, what are these dads out here thinking?
They're thinking they could go play golf, honestly. Like, if that was just a rule, they would definitely find something to fill their day. We are not going to fill our day. We are going to be sad.
Yeah, I did not fill my day.
Exactly. So, I just think, like, I birthed you, so I get you.
I feel like that, but then I feel like, well, how selfish am I being? Like, do other people feel this way, or is it just me? But, like, his birthday is my experience. Like, it's also my birthday.
Yes, agree.
I mean, same as Emma. I'm like, this is just...
Like, Michael was there, sure.
Yeah.
He, like, was in a picture or two. But, like, what did he really do that day? Go to the cafeteria? Like, it's not a dad day.
It's like
a dad does not plan the birthday party. A dad does not think about a present. The dad does not think about which friends to invite or what to do. And no. Yeah. The mom, literal, since the day the baby was born, it's a mom's day.
It is. I agree.
The dad could pop by for a couple hours.
Yeah. And technically we can split the day, which I think I have touched on this before. Like when they were so little, I'm like, I don't want to upset them.
Yeah.
But now they're older, so they know we can just go to lunch and come back. So I told him, I asked him, do you want me to come and get you? Because it was a Friday. And I was like, do you want me to come get you like for breakfast or for lunch or something? And he said, yes, he wanted breakfast. He wanted the awful waffles. So that's what we did. So we did that. And then we went to Walmart and he couldn't decide what he wanted for his birthday. But I wanted to have him something on his birthday.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, pick out whatever you want. So got some fishing pole stuff, fishing gear, fishing pole, a knife.
Okay.
We're into the knives right now for protection purposes.
Great.
And that was it. Saw him for a couple hours. And beforehand, I was like, this is going to be good. I'm going to see him on his birthday. It's like, it's going to be fine.
And then
I don't know what happened. I didn't want to give him back. I just want to look at you all day because you're mine.
Yeah.
And you're just so old now. Like 11. I know everybody says, ugh, but my baby's 11. Like, that's crazy.
Right. Like your youngest is 11 years old.
Yeah. So I did go to work that day, which is probably for the best.
That was probably good, yeah.
Gave me something to do. I looked through his baby book. Oh, I just, scrolled through the last 10 years of photos.
Ouch.
I should not have done that. At work, at least.
Yeah. That's like after work with like ice cream.
But his little tiny baby face. But he was happy. Like, that's what I have to tell myself. I cannot do anything about this.
Yeah.
He was happy. We got to go to breakfast. He got to buy what he wanted. Then he got to go to Mexican that night with Michael and his whole family, which Henry loves. You know, they got him a cake. They sang, balloons, the whole nine. And I think it was harder again because I didn't see him. I didn't see him the day before or the days after. It's just like, I know I talked to you and I know what you did, but
You're not with me.
no. But again, he was happy because then he took a couple friends to Defy, the jump place, whatever it's called now, in Nashville, which he has been wanting to do. They've been pumped for this. So he got to do exactly what he wanted to do, and he had a good weekend.
Well, I'm glad that he had a good weekend.
Me too. That's all I can take away from
like,
this.
looking at years back, do you think, like, wow, this is easier? Or is it still just as hard to not have your kid on your birthday or on their birthday?
I mean, if I'm comparing, truly, I know I already said this, I thought I might die the first time I didn't have Emma on her birthday.
Right.
I just really didn't know if I could make it through that day.
Uh-huh.
So, like I said, the day before, I was like, I'm going to be good. This is going to be fine. So, it has eased up, but like, yeah, I'm still crying
Yeah.
that I don't have them on their birthday.
Yeah.
I do have Emma on her birthday this year. Like, I had to already look ahead. You know, I stopped looking ahead on the calendar because I can't control time.
Yes.
But I looked ahead, and I have her, and she's out of school because thank you, MLK.
Okay, thank you. That worked out.
Emma's birthday is the 20th of January, so we're going to be celebrating MLK, but I'll be home with her.
Thank goodness.
I know.
I mean, that doesn't make up for missing
No.
one with Henry, but
No.
it is good you don't have to miss one with Emma.
No. I especially
back?
couldn't do that. I know I couldn't do 2 back to back.
No.
And this year, my birthday falls on a Sunday.
Oh, so you'll get on part of the day.
Yeah, it's not my weekend, but I'm like, oh, I'll get them half the day.
Birthday present.
Right. Huh. So we have looked through the end of the year, and
Okay. Looking good. Looking good.
it's looking good for me to not have a nervous breakdown.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah. Okay, one more thing that's weird. For me, I don't know if this is for other moms, but like, okay, if my kids meet someone else through Michael or his family, and then they come up to my kids when they're with me,
And you don't know them?
and I don't know them.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, who are you? Talking to my children.
Yeah.
But that's, again, I'm really not trying to be like mean or rude. It's just a little shocking at first because it's like, wow, my kids like know this whole other group of people that I don't know who they are.
Yeah. And like you said, somebody just coming up and talking to your kid, like, first instinct is to be like, hold up.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute.
Hi, I'm their mom.
I know.
And you are.
And it's mostly been like the people they go to church with.
Right.
Obviously good people. I don't know them. So that's weird sometimes.
That would definitely be weird.
And then Emma, the other day, I picked her up from dance, and one of the girls she's driving. She is older, but she was there with them helping choreograph and stuff. And she was like, Emma, I just saw your mom, blah, 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 blah. And Emma was like, where were you? I was like, oh, that wasn't me. Like, I already know. She probably thinks Nicole is your mom. Like,
Yeah. If that's how she always
if that's
sees
how
you.
she knows you and sees you. And that took Emma a minute. And she was like, oh, okay. Yeah, so just weird
little things like that.
run-ins. Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel like, I know it's probably slowed down maybe a little bit now, but I know there for a few years it was pretty frequent that other people going through a divorce would reach out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do people still do that?
I don't think I've had anybody in a while do that.
Okay. But don't you agree there for a while you were like, oh, everybody's coming to me.
I'm the
like,
spokesperson.
I am the divorce expert.
Yeah, for a while there, which, I did the same thing to people, so I totally get it.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's really calmed down. Thank goodness, maybe less people are getting divorced.
Yes.
Less people need me.
Yes, there you go. Do you feel, or did you ever feel like people were just asking you your advice to get your story?
Yeah, I do feel like a couple people, because I didn't really know them that well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, there were a few times where I felt like I wanted to be like defensive
Yeah.
and be like, nope, don't ask her that.
Right. I feel like I'm always not on edge, but on guard maybe. And yeah, I feel like some people really just wanted to know the ins and outs and the details
Yeah.
of the divorce rather than how are you coping
Right.
with it. Like
Yeah.
really push me for the story rather than how I was feeling after and how my kids were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple times, which that feels strange to me too, but I know everybody just,
I just
they
can
think they want to know.
I mean, I got a front row seat to this
Yeah.
show, and I just still feel like in the beginning when people were asking you questions, I was like, oh my God, I would never ask that. I'm
Right.
watching it play out and I would never ask that.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes people, I don't even know if they have the best of intentions, honestly, or if it's just the natural curiosity getting
Yeah.
the best of them.
Yeah. People
Because,
are,
I mean, people want to know.
yeah.
People are nosy.
People are curious.
But, like, the respect of privacy, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I ever like walked away super offended. I just would only say what I wanted to say
Yeah.
and just keep it at
And
that.
leave it at that.
Yeah.
And I feel like, too, being in a small, I know Clarksville's not as small as it used to be.
It feels small.
It feels small.
Yeah.
Especially when something like that happens. I feel like everybody was like, oh.
Yeah, of course. But some helpful things when I first got divorced was my cousin's been divorced before, so I felt like I could really lean on her and ask her about some things. And obviously they shared a child together. But another random event, since we're talking about it, is when I had to buy my first car by myself.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but this is not something that other people did. It was just, I mean, when you're married, you ask your husband to help you.
I literally don't think about things.
I know,
I'm
I'm
like,
like-
I like this car, and then I don't do any research. That's
Right.
Jared's business.
Yeah, I'm like, is there any other way to do it? Because before I was married, it was my mom helping me. So when I had to go find my own car, of course I'm asking my mom's opinion. And she has an opinion, like, you know, she'll go with me, but that's about it. So I bought my first car single, and for some reason, people had comments about it. You know, why? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I wanted. Like, I felt like I had to defend myself for getting it.
Yeah.
And then my cousin realized, she was like, it was the first car you bought by yourself, right? I was like, yes, as I'm bawling, crying, because I feel like I've made some sort of mistake when I barely knew what I was doing, but I was happy I had a vehicle.
Yeah. Like, in your mind, I found this vehicle, I did it by myself, look at me go, and
Yeah.
then people are just, like, raining on your parade.
Yeah. Because, you know, everybody's like, oh, that's a terrible car. Or how old is it? How many?
Or
you
my
know.
cousin's best friend had so much trouble out of that kind of car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, not helpful stuff.
No.
And I didn't like go searching for a new car because I wanted to. I had to. My old car was, you know, exploded on the side of the road. So I also felt like this crunch time to find something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a weird step, being single when you've been taking. I mean, I've been taking care of my whole life. There's no denying that. So when you have to learn how to do stuff on your own that you thought you would never have to do.
Do you think, now that you have learned how to do these things and you know you're capable, do you think adding somebody to that later in your life would be a challenge?
I've thought about that because I've been single a long time now, and I really, you know, like what I got going.
I know you do.
Proud of myself. I can
Yeah.
take care of myself.
Right.
I can take care of my kids.
I know for real. You've built furniture. You
I
bought
have.
a car. You had your first wreck by yourself.
Sure did. I've changed insurances, like all the stuff.
You've really done it all.
I'm doing it. But I mean, I think I could hopefully like let somebody in. I think I could still be taken care of, but I know that I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to lose that.
See, I am such a codependent person. I know I can do things without Jared, and honestly, I think his job at the fire station was good for me because it forced me to be independent just enough
Yeah, just enough.
to know that I could.
Yeah.
But I can still have him there for help and support.
Right. As anyone can rely on their husband.
I just feel like, is there a point where you get too independent and like, oh no, I don't need you, I'm good?
I mean, I have seen the reels
Yeah.
where they're like, have a good day. And they're like, do not tell me what to do.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think
I feel like your personality, you would find a partnership, like
Right.
a relationship, but like a good mutual respect, like you'd let them help you and support you. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like you're overly independent.
No, I
You're
don't.
capable.
I'm capable, but I don't mind letting people help me. It might take a minute.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to ask for help. Like,
No.
That
Or
was-
even accept it when it's offered. You don't.
no, I don't. That was assumed with my mom and it was assumed with Michael. But no, I'm not asking anybody actually to help me do
Anything.
too much of anything. So that might take a minute, but
Yeah. But you could come around to
I
it.
think I could come around
Okay.
once the trust is there, you know?
Yeah, how do you do that again?
I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet.
I've told you about a conversation I had with somebody who used to work at the spa up front with us.
No. Maybe.
She was like asking me, she was like, how do you think like Jordan's gonna trust these guys again? How does she, trust friends? How does she even trust like anyone? And I was like, I think she does as much as she can.
Yeah.
She was like, well, she trusts you. I was like, as much as she's physically capable of. Like, I just think that takes a long time to come back in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Like, not even just relationship, but friendship too.
I mean, I couldn't even tell you if I've made a new friend in the last 9 years.
Yeah. I barely made the cut.
Yeah. You're lucky you made it in there, Victoria.
Barely. I showed up at the right time.
But honestly, also, I don't do anything. I'm at home with the kids, and then when I don't have them, I'm recuperating. So there's no room for friends.
Or dating. You're literally
Yep.
the memes where it's like, my husband better like pop up in my front yard.
He better break into this house because
He better deliver me my pizza.
that's it. That is it. But I mean, eventually, I think the right person will come along. I just don't
Yeah.
know when.
And I mean, like you said, you like what you got going on right now. It's not like you're looking or trying.
Right. I will say throughout the divorce and being a single mom, like I made boundaries to not be away from my kids when I do have them because that time is so limited. And I mean, I can't think of any boundaries I had before that. Like, not in a bad way. I just don't think I needed them. But everybody that I know has been so respectful of that. Like, I missed somebody's wedding, but I just did not feel like I could take that time away from my kids.
Yeah.
And I felt like immediately all my people, like accepted that, understood it. Like, it's not a negative. Like, they don't give me a hard time for it or anything. And
Yeah. Your whole life is around them.
yes, my whole life is around their schedule right now.
Yeah.
For as long as they'll
They will
let me.
allow you.
Yes, for as long as they will let me. Because when the kids got home last night, they were both happy to see me, like I got a hug or whatever. But then Emma was immediately on the phone. I'm like, okay. Like, I want to talk to her. But that's okay. I didn't say anything. Like, I know how 8th grade is. Got to give him some space.
Yeah.
And then after she took a shower and got ready for bed, me and Henry were already watching TV in my room before bed. So she came in there with us. I was like, yes. A win. We're in the same room.
Yeah, I feel like teenage girls are cats. Like, you gotta let them come to you.
And she was definitely a cat yesterday. Because then, like, I just wanted to give her a hug. I don't even think I had really given her a hug yet. And she straight said, you can lay here next to me, but no talking. I was like, okay.
Well,
I was like, oh, well, I wasn't going
she
to.
too has boundaries.
So I just gave her a hug and got back up.
Yeah.
Like, she's tired. She wants to be quiet. She wants to watch her show. So
So that's what she got to do.
So that's what I did. And she was like, I know Henry likes to like hug you a lot. And I was like, I got the hint. I will go hug him.
Do you think Henry is more affectionate just by nature, or do you think like the ages they were when they were divorced and like he's the boy, she's the girl? Do you think that like played a role in that dynamic?
I don't know, except this is how they have always been.
Yeah.
Like, Henry was born.
Lovey.
Yes. And like, okay, if I give him a hug, sometimes she'll hug me back at the most. If I hug Henry, he is like holding on and patting me.
Yeah.
Like patting my back or patting my hand and I'm just like, yeah, you're just so
He
lovey.
is the love of your life.
Yes, he is just so lovey. So he has just always been like that. I mean, he would hug her too if she would let him. But that stopped a long time
Tread
ago.
lightly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's just them by nature. I think I've said this before too, but I just assumed Emma was going to be like me because she's the first and she's the daughter. I was like, we're just going to be the same. We are not.
Joke's on you.
Yeah, we are not. But Henry and I are way more similar.
Yeah.
Just in personality and stuff. Okay, well, I think that was the majority of Victoria's burning questions that we had because, you know, she lives my day-to-day life with me and gets to hear all these things that I think are crazy or weird or whatever when I'm single Jordan and not married Jordan.
It is just like a contrast.
Yeah.
Like between the two of us. And I feel like there's probably more that we didn't even get to. Just like, I don't know. I feel weird complaining about my husband and kids.
And I don't think anything of that. And especially you're my best friend, so you have to tell me.
Well, yeah, but...
Or I wouldn't know what was going on with you.
I mean, that is what's going on with me.
But we work with 40 women. I don't think anything of it when anybody says anything about their husband and kids.
Yeah.
So still tell me. Everybody tell me. Okay, well, thank y'all for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe on our Apple or Spotify. And don't forget to leave us a review. And also follow us on our Instagram account. And thanks for listening. Bye.